So, in amongst your small photo collection, there's a picture of you taken by John Deakin. Can you tell us something about the events that surrounded that picture, how you came to be photographed by him?
Well, there's nothing much to tell, really. I knew Deakin because he was a great friend of my friend, Roddy Greenwich. And so I had encountered him a lot, and in a purely social way, usually in the middle of heavy drinking, which I was not taking a part in. That was why, though I always got on pretty well with Francis Bacon, he always refused every attempt to set up an interview with me, because he wouldn't be interviewed by anybody that he didn't have a fair chance of drinking under the table. That was something that really turned him on, apparently. So I knew Deakin, and when it was my first, what I think of as my first real book, Anger and After, which is about, and was the first book about, the John Osborne, Harold Pinter, Arnold Wesker generation of dramatists, all of whom, consequently, I knew well and had followed her through their provincial beginnings and all the rest of it. And so that was first commissioned by Methuen, and if I say so myself, created a bit of a splash when it came out. At the same time as Martin Eslin's book about the absurdist dramatist, theatre of the absurd. And so so Penguins wanted to bring out a paperback edition the following year, which they did, and they wanted a photograph of me for the cover, which was normal then, and I don't know why they didn't like any of the existing photographs, because I'd already been photographed by Roger Main, for instance, a picture which was on the jacket of the original hardback edition. But I was told that they, apparently my editor at Penguins knew Deakin quite well, and told me that he wanted to do something for him because he was supposedly in a pretty bad way. It was one of his worst bouts of drinking and so on. And so he had been commissioned to take a photograph of me for the cover of my Penguin. And so we did. It was taken in an upstairs room, absolutely plain, or whitewashed room, in somewhere in Dean Street. I don't know what it was. I don't know if Deakin had a studio at the time, but anyway, it was taken, and he was reasonably sober when he took it. But for some, well, if you look at it, it's not surprising because it's not technically very good. It's very hazy. And so Penguins didn't like it. They presumably paid him for it, but they didn't use it. And so on. So that's how it came to be taken. But I did subsequently know Deakin quite well, though I found him, well, I think everybody did, an extremely difficult character, awkward, bitter about most things, and generally the worse for wear drink-wise. So who knew what the basic Deakin was like underneath? By that time, I think that was the basic Deakin. But I recently found in a bookshop his first book, which is not at all like his famous photographs, which are all of the people of the Bacon circle and so on. They're rather charming, straightforward photographs of the London streets, basically, and so on. But I think that's that's all that I saw him. I mean, I continued to see him nearly always in the company of Roddy Greenwich, and until I went to America anyway. I don't remember ever seeing him after. I'm not quite sure when he died.